Listen up, criminals. This could happen to you. Florida's a stand your ground state, and if you happen to be in the commission of a violent felony or a robbery, this could happen to you too.
I'm Pasco Sheriff Chris Nalco. I want to present to you some information that happened early this morning about an isolated home invasion robbery that was a targeted incident within the Wesley Chapel area. The victim in this case exercises Second Amendment right to protect himself in his home. County dispatch received the call at approximately 12:43 a.m. What we have of the incident that occurred prior to that is that the victim was at home by himself. He was playing video games. At one point, he hears glass shatter towards the back of his house. At that moment, he grabs his gun. He starts walking down towards this narrow hallway he has. At that point, he sees a suspect. The suspect is wearing a black mask, dark clothing, but pointing a gun towards the end of the hallway, which is at the direction of the victim. The victim fires towards that suspect. That suspect then goes down. Right behind that suspect, as the victim describes, they're stacked down this narrow hallway. The second suspect is also wearing a mask. He has a gun pointed down the hallway towards the victim. The victim fires at that suspect falls. At some point during the shooting, we know that one of the suspects fired off a round from their guns. The victim then sees he's already shot at two suspects that came down the hallway. They are down on the ground. He sees a third suspect. At that point, he fires at the third suspect. That third suspect falls down over one of the bodies that's already down in that narrow hallway, and the gun jams for the victim. The victim then goes to get another gun. As he comes back, he looks, and that third suspect has fled the area. At that point, very shortly after, he gets a call from a neighbor. The neighbor communicates to him that he is holding that third suspect outside the house at gunpoint to make sure he doesn't flee the area. The two suspects that were shot first, suspect number 1 and number 2, succumbed to their injuries and died at the scene. The third suspect was taken to the hospital and he will survive. His name is Jeremiah Trammell. Date of birth 6/30/2001. He is currently going to be charged with 2 counts of second-degree homicide. The reason why he's being charged with 2 degrees of second-degree homicide was because of his role in the robbery where 2 people died. He is accountable for the deaths because it was during the commission of a felony that he was involved in that those 2 people died. He's also going to be charged with 1 count of home invasion robbery.
Yeah, you heard that right. These guys are going to be charged with homicide. And this is what will happen to people that do this and survive after the fact. So if you happen to be a survivor, just because you survived doesn't mean you're not going to face some serious charges of being an accomplice to that crime. So if somebody happens to die, you will be charged with that crime. So kudos to the homeowner. That's why we have the Second Amendment, to protect against people that want to do harm to us, our families, or even just try to come and steal our property. You know, just the way it is. It's a stand your ground state. Don't come to my home. Don't forget, hit that like, share, and that subscribe button, all that good stuff. And I'm out of here. Soliaker. Deuces.